Let us learn how to learn from the neurophysiologic process. The question is, how do we learn? How does our brain memorize and understand? And let's reflect about it. Human brains are very complex and flexible over the learning process. Based on research, you will find that there is a general standard approach concerning the learning process based on neurophysiological process and pedagogical and methodological approach. Let's have a look about it. Understand how do we learn to define how should we teach. This is extremely important to be a good teacher in digital age. But the brain map is something that started to build up in the 18th century. Several researchers have looked for the brain map. Rodin, even in the beginning of the 20th century, identified some specific areas from perception, sensoring, and emotions, but the technology was not enough to arrive to a final conclusions. Only Antonio Damasio in the 90s identifying the brain map and the multi-channel understanding process, the viewing, the listening, and so on. But how do we brain from the neurophysiological point of view? It's a process that we are registering in the working memory. Like a video is running in front of us, and when a click appears, we start to recording. And from this recording, after a certain period, we say this is not important and we erase it, or this is important and we register it. This is a behaviorism action. But when we transfer from the short-term memory to long-term memory, is a process of reflection and iteration, repetition and integration, all this information in long-term memory with all the information we had before. So it's a very reflexive process, and we can say that it is a constructivist process. So we have two moments. One is receiving the information, and another is reflection and memorizing and integrating and understanding all the process. So we have an emotional and we have as well a logical rational process. We can understand through two aspects. Let's reflect about this in the next part. And the second part will be the learning styles.